Hello everyone, my name is Jesper, I'm from Astera. Welcome to the NYX Bulb product walkthrough. This tutorial will be split up in sort of two parts, so we have what we can do with only the NYX Bulb as we see it here, and then the second part will be about the PowerStation and how that can come in handy. First things first, the NYX Bulb comes in two different colors. It comes in a black version and a white version. Also important to say is that the NYX Bulb do not have a battery, but we still have a lot of options for controlling and also power up the NYX Bulbs. The NYX Bulb fits to a huge range of applications. The obvious is as an practical on set, as eye light, effect light in the picture, studio installations, and where the creativity kicks in. So it can be used both in front and behind of the camera. You can, for example, integrate them in a theater ceiling as normal light and have them programmed with the stage light for a show to create something extraordinary. The NYX Bulb have built-in CRMX, wireless DMX, so they are a good match in general for studios, film shoot, stage design, theaters, and many other applications. The NYX Bulb comes with our famous Titan LED engine, which means you have RGB, mint and amber. We have a huge wide range that goes all the way down from 1750 Kelvin and all the way up to 20,000 Kelvin. CRI TLCI is 96 or above, and depending on the color space you want to work with, then we have RGB, HSI, X and Y, and also filter gels. All this can of course be accessed from the display of the PowerStation in the Astera app and also on the lighting desk depending on the DMX profile. So with the Titan LED engine, it's not just a bulb that can do colors, but can be controlled accurately when it comes to the white colors as well. The bulbs are digitally calibrated that makes sure that you have precise colors all the way around. The NYX Bulb is also flicker free, so you can also use it in front of your camera. Now, since the NYX Bulb do not have a built-in battery, we of course have made multiple ways to power up the NYX Bulb, so we call this dual power input. Starting with the AC power. In my case here I have a E27 socket because I am in Europe, and here of course I have a socket so I can just screw it in and then I have the NYX Bulb powered up. In case you have a socket standing somewhere hanging, then you can of course screw in the NYX Bulb and have it powered up. Now the reason why we don't have a universal socket version is because of CE and UL standards. So guys, if you do travel abroad, please make sure to have the right socket size in the country you are going to for safety reasons. Now to the DC power. You see we have the DC plug right here, which is compatible with 5 to 18 volt, 2 amps. Also means whenever you buy a NYX Bulb, there will be a USB to DC cable included. So for the black NYX, it's a black cable, and for the white NYX, it's a white cable. We can simply just plug it in, and in case you do have a standard power bank, we can simply just plug our NYX Bulb into it, and then we also have it powered on. So this is also a way, in case you do buy a lot of power banks, then you can just use these power banks to power up the NYX Bulb. If you want to extend the USB to DC cable which follows with the bulb, or maybe the DC cable on the PowerStation, then we also have a 1.5 meter long extension cable. There is other options to power up the NYX Bulb via the DC power here. So for instance, we made the D-tap split cable, and we also have to power up 8 NYX Bulbs here at the other end. The D-tap split cable has a length of 1.5 meters, and the V-mount battery here must be 14.4 voltage because the power draw of each bulb is 11 watt. In case you do have a battery that cannot supply enough power, you may increase the runtime, which can for instance be set in the Astera app, to reduce the power consumption of each bulb. Now bulbs are often used as a practical in a set, or maybe even used on a stage design. We do have a little cup bouncer that can help reflect the light back, just in case that you have it in a lampshade. That can be very helpful not to have too much bill light going upwards. The cup bouncer, as you see it here, is a very simple product. Also has a suction cup here, so we could simply just put it on the bulb. You will also see here on the picture what the difference is without the cup bouncer and also with the cup bouncer. So you can of course decide when to use it and where it makes most sense for you. The NYX bulb is made IP44, so it's rainproof and safe to use outdoor. For instance, when we hang the bulb outside with a socket like this, of course you need to make sure that the socket here is also IP44. And then we have a little DC socket cover we also need to plug in to the battery input. Here you see the little DC socket cover. Make sure to plug it into the DC here. And again guys, make sure to use a socket that is also IP44, then we can safely use it outside as well. The control with the NYX is the same as all the other Astera lights. We can of course take our smartphone tablet, pair it here with the Astera box and pair the lights to the app so we can create groups, change colors and so on. Since the NYX bulb do not have a display on it, it can also come in handy when we want to set a DMX address when working with wireless DMX of course. The NYX bulb also have built-in Bluetooth, which means that we do not necessarily need an Astera box. We can simply just take our smartphone or tablet, connect to the first NYX bulb and then pair other Astera lights so we can control it from the Astera app. The NYX bulb also have built-in CRMX wireless DMX, and the little CRMX chip is actually built into the NYX bulb. So when for instance it's here in the socket, we can for instance use the Astera app. We can also use the PowerStation, which we will come into later, to set up DMX addresses, take the Astera box or even a Lumen radio transmitter to your lighting desk, pair it, and then you are good to go controlling with wireless DMX as well. Now to the second half of this tutorial, which will be about the NYX PowerStation. First thing here with the PowerStation is that it of course is an external battery. Once we plug it in the DC plug right there, we have it running for 3 hours on maximum runtime. We can of course adjust it also here in the display to have it run up to 20 hours or set it in the Astera app. But the PowerStation can be used for much more than just an external battery. The NYX PowerStation also have a display on the back, just as you know it from the Titan tube. It has dedicated buttons for color and brightness control. We can do DMX setup, and the NYX actually saves the settings we do. Just keep in mind, wait 3 seconds once you have changed a setting on a bulb, then it will save it, then we can use a power bank, then we can screw it into a socket, then pair it to DMX if that's the case, and then this is done. If you do have a lot of bulbs you want to set up with the PowerStation laying here and maybe screw into a socket afterwards, then we can simply just set up a color, maybe even the brightness. Let's say we want a pink and then we want to have it running on max. Wait 3 seconds, then we can plug it out like this and then we can screw it into the socket. This also works the same way if you want to set up with a DMX address. Using the PowerStation as an external battery is of course quite convenient if you do not have a power outlet where you are working. We also do have a lot of mounting options. We have an airline track on the PowerStation on 3 sides. The PowerStation, as you see it here, has airline track here, here and here, so on 3 sides. Here on the right side you also see the accessories that we use to mount on to the airline track right here. Let's start with the lamp socket, which is also a dummy socket. When we connect it to the airline track here, there will be no power going through and up to the socket. As you know from some of the other products, we can simply just take it here in the airline track and then screw it tight. Then we can of course mount the bulb into the socket and then simply just plug in our little DC cable and then we have it powered up as well. For instance, now we are using the PowerStation with the bulb as a standing object. We also have different options here with the bracket, for instance the threads to mount a lampshade onto it, just as you see here in the video, and then we have a nice light standing with an external battery with a nice lampshade on the table here as well. Now if you are using the PowerStation with the NYX bulb here as an external battery solution, then we also have a track pin. Simply just slide it in, then we can mount it in a grip head, we can use a super clamp, and then we are actually good to go mounting the NYX bulb with the PowerStation. In case you are in a place where it might not work with the track pin, then we also do have the PowerStation hanger. So we can use a wire and simply just plug it in, and then we are also good to go hanging the PowerStation with the NYX bulb on it. When we do have the bulb mounted on the PowerStation like this, and you for instance have a metal surface, then we also do have the 4 magnets here. Simply just put it onto the metal and you have it already mounted. So all these mounting options just makes it flexible, fast and easy to put the lamp wherever you want. The NYX bulb also comes in set, of course, and it comes with 8 bulbs, 1 PowerStation, 8 USB to DC cables, 8 cup bouncers just in case you want to use a lampshade, and a charger for the PowerStation. As you see here in the video, the case is built with 2 layers. So on top we have the NYX bulb and the 1 PowerStation, and below we have the cup bouncers and the USB cables. You might wonder why we only have 1 PowerStation in a NYX bulb set with 8 bulbs, but the reason here is actually to set the bulbs up one by one and then use a standard power bank if that's what you want, or screw it into a socket because they are saving the settings. We also do have a PowerStation set with 8 power stations, the dummy sockets, the PowerStation hangers, the track pins, and also a charging system, since the PowerStation of course have a built-in battery. As you see here in the video, the PowerStation set also have 2 layers. So on top we have the PowerStations, and down below we have all the accessories, and of course we have the charging system up on top so you can charge all 8 at the same time. The case have a weight of 8.5 kilograms, so also super easy to take around, just in case you need external batteries for your NYX bulbs on set, on a stage, etc. Now, as you know, our other lights of course have a built-in battery, so we could just open the case, turn them on, pair them to the app, set groups and change colors and set them up as we want to. But since the NYX bulb do not have a built-in battery, the PowerStation set actually comes in handy if we want to set it up with PowerStations all at the same time, or with the Astera app before the production starts. So as you see here in the video, when we have the PowerStation set and the NYX bulb set next to each other, we have the cables that goes from the PowerStation case to the NYX bulb set. The cables, as you see here, have different length, so you will not be in doubt when you have this setup where the cable fits, and then it's easy to set up with the PowerStations or with the Astera app. The NYX bulb has a 14 watt total LED power, and after we calibrated it, it has 10 watt power draw. On maximum brightness 750 lumens and only a weight of 0.24 kilograms. So guys, this was all about the NYX bulb. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.